Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring one of the most influential personal finance books ever written, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to build wealth easily while others struggle paycheck to paycheck, this book offers some eye-opening answers. Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to dive deep into the book's biggest lessons. We'll talk about the key differences between the financial habits of the rich and poor, the mindset shifts you need to escape the rat race, and how to start building assets that generate real, lasting wealth. So whether you're new to investing or just need a financial mindset reboot, stick around. This summary could truly change your perspective on money. Let's get into it. Please keep in mind this book summary is for informational and educational purposes only, and is not intended to be in any way financial advice. Part 1. The Tale of Two Dads. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. First, there was his biological father, his poor dad, a highly educated man with a stable government job who valued academics, job security, and traditional success. He believed in working hard, saving money, and climbing the corporate ladder. Then there was his best friend's father, his rich dad, an entrepreneur and businessman who didn't finish high school but built a massive portfolio of investments. He believed in financial education, investing, and letting money work for you. What's fascinating is that both dads wanted the best for Robert, but they gave him conflicting advice. One said, "Go to school, get good grades, and find a secure job." The other said, "Learn how money works so you can make it work for you." This contrast forms the backbone of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The book isn't just about how to make money. It's about how to think about money. And as Kiyosaki says, the real difference between the rich and poor isn't how much money they make. It's their mindset. Part 2. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Lesson 1 might sound strange at first. The rich don't work for money. Instead, they make money work for them. Kiyosaki illustrates this with a story from his childhood. At 9 years old, he and his friend Mike worked for Rich Dad at one of his small stores. They were paid a few cents an hour, practically nothing. When Robert complained, Rich Dad explained the purpose of the exercise, to understand how people become slaves to money. Most people wake up, go to work, earn a paycheck, and then spend it. They do it again next month, and the next. That cycle is what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. Rich Dad taught him not to chase money but to learn how money works. He encouraged Robert to look for opportunities, to think creatively, and to develop assets that generate income. When you only work for money, you trade time for dollars. But when you learn how to build income-generating assets, you free yourself from that cycle. Part 3. Lesson 2. Financial Literacy. The second lesson is about financial literacy. Here's the key idea. It's not how much you make. It's how much you keep. You might earn a six-figure salary and still be broke if your expenses match or exceed your income. That's why understanding assets and liabilities becomes crucial. Rich Dad drilled this into Robert. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. It seems simple, but most people get it wrong. They think their house is an asset. But if it's costing you money every month in mortgage payments, maintenance, and taxes without generating income, it's actually a liability. So what are true assets? Think rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, businesses you own but don't run day-to-day, and intellectual property like books or courses that generate royalties. The goal is to grow your asset column, the part of your finances that makes money passively. Once your assets produce enough income to cover your expenses, you achieve financial independence. Part 4. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Lesson 3 might sound a bit bold. Mind your own business. This doesn't mean being selfish or ignoring others. It means taking responsibility for your financial future by focusing on building your own assets, even if you work for someone else. Kiyosaki says most people confuse their profession with their business. A profession is what you do to earn a paycheck. But your real business should be your investments and income-generating ventures outside of your job. For example, you might be a teacher or engineer, but on the side, you're acquiring rental properties or building an online business. That's your real business. That's your path to wealth. Even if you love your job, Rich Dad would say, use your salary to buy assets. Don't spend all your money on consumer goods. Invest in things that grow in value or generate cash flow. Part 5, Lesson 4, The History of Taxes and Corporations. Lesson 4 takes a more advanced turn. Understand the tax code and the power of corporations. This might sound dry, but it's incredibly powerful. Most people earn money, pay taxes, and spend what's left. The rich often do the reverse. They earn money through corporations, spend pre-tax, and pay less in taxes legally. Here's how it works. An employee earns money. An income tax is taken out immediately. A business owner earns money through a corporation, spends it on legitimate expenses like travel or equipment, and only pays tax on the remaining profit. Kiyosaki isn't suggesting tax evasion. He's talking about using the legal advantages built into the system. The rich understand the tax code and use accountants, lawyers, and financial planners to structure their finances smartly. If you're serious about building wealth, you don't just need income. You need financial intelligence. Part 6, Lesson 5, The Rich Invent Money. Lesson 5 is exciting. The rich invent money. This doesn't mean they print money. It means they create value. They see opportunities where others see risk. They use creativity and financial knowledge to turn ideas into income. Kiyosaki talks about creating deals, spotting underpriced assets, and using leverage, such as other people's money, time, or resources, to build wealth. For instance, he shares stories about buying real estate with little or no money down by understanding how to structure win-win deals. Most people see real estate as expensive. The rich see how to use financing, negotiation, and timing to make deals happen. To invent money, you need 3 things. 1, a strong financial education. 2, the ability to take calculated risks. 3, a mindset that looks for possibilities, not problems. When you train your brain to look for opportunities, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Part 7, Lesson 6, Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money. Lesson 6 is about working to learn, not just to earn. Kiyosaki emphasizes building a wide skill set, especially early in your career. Rich Dad advised Robert to take jobs that taught him something valuable, not just the ones that paid the most. He stressed the importance of understanding sales, marketing, communication, leadership, and systems. Why? Because these skills are transferable to any business or investment endeavor. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur or investor, it's not enough to be technically skilled. You also need to know how to influence, sell, and manage. Kiyosaki says, the most important specialized skills are sales and marketing. No matter what you do, if you can't sell your ideas, products, or yourself, you'll struggle to grow financially. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try new roles or industries. The more you learn, the more confident and capable you become. Part 8, Overcoming Obstacles. Even with knowledge, most people don't become rich. Why? Because of fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Kiyosaki explains how each of these mental blocks can hold you back. Fear of losing money keeps people stuck in safe but unprofitable paths. Cynicism makes people doubt opportunities and believe investing is too risky. Laziness hides behind busyness. People say they don't have time to learn. Bad habits like spending before saving sabotage wealth. Arrogance leads people to believe they know it all and stops them from learning. To build wealth, you have to master your mind. Be honest about your weaknesses. Replace fear with education. Replace laziness with curiosity. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth. Part 9, Getting Started. So, how do you begin applying the lessons of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Start small but start smart. Here are a few steps Kiyosaki recommends. 1. Commit to lifelong learning about money. 2. Start tracking your personal financial statement, your assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. 3. Start building your asset column, even if it's tiny at first. 4. Get around people who understand money and investing. Invest in books, courses, and real conversations. Don't wait for the perfect time to invest. Start loaning today, even if you can't buy a rental property yet. Remember, financial freedom is a journey, not a destination. The more you walk the path, the more opportunities appear. Part 10. Final thoughts. To wrap up, Rich Dad Poor Dad isn't just a book about money. It's a book about mindset. It challenges the traditional beliefs that most of us were taught. Go to school, get a job, save money, and retire on a pension. Kiyosaki flips that script. He teaches us to focus on acquiring assets, understanding money, and building a life where wealth works for us, not the other way around. If you take one thing away from today's video, let it be this: your financial destiny is in your hands. Until next time, stay smart, stay curious, and keep building your future. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue building your wealth of knowledge, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.